Hi folks, welcome back to the Carver's Wood Shop. This is Arlene once again, and we're going to start another little project here of just a little duck, and it's going to be titled Simple Duck or just a duck. And what I did here is I made a pattern of a duck, and what I did was cut it out on a bandsaw, and I put a line all the way down the center of the body, as you can see. And what we're going to do is, this is going to be a real simple project. I'm not going to make it real complicated. This is really for the beginner in mind. So with that said, I hope you all had a good Thanksgiving. I had a nice time with my family and all, being here, very busy. But now it's time to get back to carving again, which I want to do. What we're going to do is we're just going to cut. Make sure you have your glove on and your thumb guard on. And if you're a beginner, do not use a pocket knife, okay? Use a stationary knife. That will keep the knife from collapsing on you, okay? So, here we go. What we're going to do is I kind of made some reference points here. I put a line down the center, and this is my own pattern, so if you want the pattern, it's $1.50. And I just want to explain something with the pattern. Some people have been asking, you know, had some questions. The patterns are just a side profile. Anything that I do in a relief form should have a more detail to it. But basically what you're getting is what you need to cut out on a bandsaw and the dimension and how thick it is and stuff. This little project, I'm going to have 4 or 5 of this shape, but in smaller versions so you can have them walking behind each other. I'm not going to do each one, but I'm going to show you how to do the first one. So if you want to do 3 smaller ones like a set, you can do that. Like I said, this is more like a comical type project, so it's nothing super fancy, but it's for the beginner in mind. If you've never carved before, this might be a nice little project for you to try. If you're just starting, it might be something you might be interested in doing. Now, I just want to make it real clear how the grain is running. That is the saw marks there. I had to cut it down a little bit. So actually the grain is running this way, okay? And the head it's running this way. This is just, the marks you see here are just the bandsaw going through. Alright, so that's what you need to remember, you know, and you need to be careful with this that you don't snap it off. But let's get started. What I did was I made some reference points. I put a line down the center all the way around, and then I took my line about 1/4 of an inch or so on either side of the head. So that's what I'm going to cut out away first, is the head portion here. I'm going to use my pocket knife. Those of you that have a pocket knife can go ahead and use it, but if you're a beginner, I wouldn't recommend it. I'm just doing it because it's a little faster for me to do it that way. So we're just going to chop some of this off on either side. It's going to be our first little project here. I'm going to go switch to a different knife here. There we go. Alright. Don't forget to put your thumb guard on and things like that. Alright. We're just going to try to round it out a little bit, start shaping it up, and get it down to that middle mark that we have right there. Okay? Again, there's a couple of ways of holding your knife. If you're a beginner, you want to hold it, your stationary knife in one hand, and then take your thumb and pivot it like this so that you can have the, see how we can have control? Other than pushing it like this, you don't have the control. It will slip off. You need to pivot your knife, okay? Now I know it's a little more difficult because we're going against the grain, and whenever you feel it tug, go ahead and turn it around. Alright, and try to work on both sides as you go. Doesn't have to be that difficult, really. So we're doing it from where the neck kind of starts coming in. So this is really going to come out like so. Alright. So that's really, you know, it curves right there a little bit. So that's where we're working towards. And then we'll worry about the head later on. We're just doing some stock removal right now. Alright. Alright, I'm going to do a little bit more while I'm offline. I'm going to try to trim this all off where I can see it a little bit better. And then we're going to start on the body on the next phase here. Okay, so just keep going in here and try to scoop this out a little bit. Just like so. Just like that on either side. I'll do some of this here so you can see how you should have it. And then I'm going to go, okay, just like that. And that's what we want to do on this side as well. Alright, we'll be back.